What's going on? This is Eric Guzman, and you're listening to Pierson's Piece on SRD Radio and streaming live on Cave Radio Broadcasting. You can catch us on Spotify and iTunes and listen to us live every week, every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
The views and opinions expressed by our show hosts do not necessarily reflect that of Sports Radio Detroit or its sponsors.
This is a homage beat.
You know, I have a good feeling about this, Brian.
People call me the Brine Man. I'm the stylish one of the group.
Look who drove by.
Brian's.
Brian, will you do the honors?
Sure.
Good morning, Detroit. My name is Brian Pierson alongside Jeremy Bright and Eric Guzman. You're listening to Pierson's Piece on SportsRadioDetroit.com and CaveRadioBroadcasting.com. March Madness is upon us. Woo, woo.
Yes.
Best time of year, at least in my book.
Yeah,
So we got.
yeah, you've said that a few different times.
Yeah. You
I'm
said
sure
you
I
love this
have.
time of year.
I love this time of year, especially when you got the in-state teams playing well. 2 top 10 teams in the nation, Michigan State. Faced off, Faced off 1 week in Ann Arbor. Fast forward a couple weeks, and the next thing you know, they're playing again in East Lansing. Michigan State had the upper hand in both matchups.
Same results, so.
Well deserved. I give them their credit for both games. They outplayed us. Outplayed us in Ann Arbor, outplayed us in East Lansing. And I give a lot of the credit to Cassius Winston because he's turned into quite the baller. Not the most athletic, but has outstanding basketball IQ, knows the floor, runs the floor, knows his personnel, always makes the right decision. And he's just a classic Tom Izzo point guard. Not the most athletic, but gets the job done, and he's an outstanding college basketball player. Doesn't seem like he's pro ready, but I mean, he's doing his thing for Tom Izzo, and he's putting up numbers, and he's beating Michigan. Can't ask for much more than that, except maybe a tournament run. This is where it matters, is the tournament. Sure, regular season plays a factor. It matters in terms of, especially for seeding and stuff like that. But, I mean, come tournament time, it's like pretty much anybody could beat anybody. As we mentioned, I think it was last week, a 16 seed beat a 1 seed last year. Could happen again this year.
Anything is possible, Kevin Garnett.
Right. And I love that 08 Boston team, by the way.
I did.
Before
I hated it.
So right when they made that trade, I became a fan. It wasn't after the fact when they won a championship, just for the record. It was right when Ray Allen and KG and Paul Pierce all joined up. And can't forget Rajon Rondo either. Because he was in his prime. Could never shoot the basketball, but
Technically,
always
he was
a good
actually a
distributor.
rookie at that point in time.
Yeah. And
I think he just
so that's
peaked a
even
little
more
early.
impressive.
Oh.
But back to college basketball. March Madness is here. I'm ready to do my bracket.
Are we doing that this year?
Yeah, I was going to
It
get
was-
your guys' information all together, set something up, as soon as Selection Sunday is over with.
So I know I've said this before, and now that March Madness is here, for any new listeners or anything like that, I've never done a bracket before. So I'm really, really scared to do one. Like, I'm excited, but I'm scared because I don't want you guys to take advantage and be like, no, take this one. I promise you this will be good. There's so many teams that play in this NCAA tournament, teams that I don't even get to see even on broadcast television. So I have no idea who's official. Like, I know who's good. Obviously, you got your Dukes, you got your Michigans, your Carolinas, the big names. Those are the ones you guys can kind of count on.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, those little mid-tier schools, Oh, no, that's where I get scared. I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. Should I go for an upset now? And you do an upset and bust your bracket, and then you have something like last year where 16 beat the 1, and the whole thing is messed up for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the tricky ones, the close matchups. But it's all about who's hot. And it's really – I just feel like if you pay attention, like during the conference tournaments, then – that'll definitely help your bracket, just to see which teams are playing well and which teams aren't, and to just kind of oversee the personnel. Again, but I mean it's a toss up for a lot of it, and you got to be able to pick upsets. I mean that's just a thing.
I have no problem with an upset. I mean, we learned about this during our football picks, Mr. Upset King over here, but we all took our chances on upsets.
Yeah, it's just about picking the right upsets. That's the tough part.
Yeah, that's true. That's, I think, like you said, I think that truly is the tough part, is trying to get the right upset.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to even predict nowadays.
Yeah, because you have all these teams. Literally, it goes to like the old football analogy where any given team can beat another team any other given day.
Yeah.
So it's not like where it was, back in the day, or at least when sports were first being developed. Oh yeah, this team's gonna win each and every time. You can't do that no more.
No. It's
you got talented kids all over the world, playing for different schools. You never know. You might just get a team. You might get a day where a team takes the other team for light, and next thing you know, hey, we're down by 20 and game's over.
Yeah, could be a Cinderella story waiting to happen. Seems like there is every year. That's just how March Madness is. Michigan looked good last night against Iowa.
Yeah, it did.
And I believe Iowa was one of the losses on their schedule, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
So to come, and I think it was on the road at Iowa, which does play a factor, but still an L regardless. And Iowa's not that good, but, I mean, they're okay. Michigan beat them by like 20-something. And, I just think when tournament time comes around, Michigan's just a different basketball team.
Tournament and March Madness tournament time for NCAA is like playoff time in basketball, like in the NBA.
Yep.
Like they're two different games. They're two different types of, you get two different types of teams.
Yeah, every possession counts. Like
every
possession is like played 10 times harder now in this tournament than anything.
Winner go home.
If Michigan plays Michigan State in the tournament somehow, that's a game we need to kind of figure out and go sit down at.
I think it's possible. I think it's honestly going to happen.
I think it's a strong
Big Ten
possibility.
tournament.
Yeah, it's a strong possibility.
Oh, yeah, Big Ten tournament for sure.
I meant like the NCAA. Like
NCAA tournament, unlikely, but could happen. It might be, if it does happen, it'll probably be a national title matchup, if I'm guessing correctly. Or possibly a Final Four matchup, but it's just unlikely, just with how they do the brackets. I think the committee tries to, spread out those kind of teams, with the rivals, so it's not, the same thing all the time.
Did Carolina win yesterday?
Duke won by
Duke
1
won.
point.
Yeah.
They held on at the end.
It was really close, though. It's a really close game.
When does Carolina play?
Well,
Or in that tournament, or are they already done?
They lost last night.
Oh, did they? Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I was
it's
gonna
one
say,
and
'cause
done.
So now they basically have to wait till Selection Sunday to figure out what region they're going to go in.
Okay, now I was going to say, because if it's Carolina and Duke Part 3, now that Zion's back, I would say we should watch that one.
Zion's back.
Yeah, it's
The
great
kid's a
for
freak.
basketball.
The kid's a freak of nature.
He is. And he's no doubt the number one pick. It's even in the mock draft. People want to talk about R.J. Barrett and
R.J. Barrett,
so-and-so.
technically speaking, is the better player. But as far as what Duke brings, what Duke brings, what Zion brings to the table for Duke, yeah, NBA players NBA scouts have been watching Zion since he was in high school. You already knew that kid was only going to go to college for 1 year, you know. So R.J. Barrett, in all honesty, I've never heard of the kid up until college. No disrespect, just again, Zion has taken over social media since he first got discovered. But yeah, dude, Zion's going to go number one. I still believe that R.J. Barrett is their better player, only because I believe he's more efficient at scoring. But, again, it's Zion.
It's hard
See,
to
man,
pass
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That's hard to pass up. He's got some stronger Nikes on now, so he should
Them-
be good to go.
Those Kyries.
I just think you had to give it to Zion. I
It's
mean,
just not the Paul George.
just overall basketball player, just in general, the athleticism, the size, what he can do on the floor. You see that last bucket he scored last night? He just pretty much did a little spin move in the lane.
Oh, that
or in
spin
the
and that
paint.
dunk.
Well, no, it was towards the end. It was the game-winning bucket when he just pretty much willed the basketball in,
Dang.
and he missed a tough contested little bunny. And he followed it back up with a putback, like right over the guy. He just towers over dudes. The athleticism, the size, the strength, just the overall given basketball
Would you want
ability.
smoke with Zion?
No.
My point.
No.
My
Not at
point.
all.
leave
The
that. Leave that kid alone.
He's a
That's a
monster.
pass, huh?
So I'm for me personally, I'm taking Zion over R.J. Barrett, and you even got mock drafts putting Jay Morant. I think that's
That
how you
kid's
say
gonna
his
be
name,
good.
over
That-
R.J. Barrett.
That kid's gonna be really, really good.
Murray State kid, and they're no Duke, no North Carolina for all the listeners out there who aren't so college basketball savvy. Murray State's a pretty good basketball school, but I mean they're no like premier basketball school.
Somebody big, one of the NBA stars, go to Murray State?
Probably
I
so.
feel like they did.
And
Somebody.
they're a tournament team.
Yeah, usually they're in the tournament every year.
So look, Zion's no doubt number one pick. He's going to the Knicks.
Are we confident the Knicks are getting the number one pick? I feel like a series of things.
Might not with how the lottery goes.
Okay, here's.
Just depends.
I don't want to jump basketball yet, but just because we're on the topic of conversation, I think if the Knicks get the number one pick, a lot of things have to happen first. I think first and foremost, James Dolan has to sell the team. He's got to give up the team.
He's not going to do that. I know he's not.
I know he's not going to, but I think there's going to be some type of backdoor conversation because again, the rumors came out saying that he was in talks of selling the team.
Yeah.
Rumors don't come out unless there's some type of actual reportage that's there. So then obviously he comes out saying, "No, I'm not going to sell the team." Obviously he's getting criticized by fans now. Bans a fan for telling him to sell the team.
I was going to see if you guys want to talk about that too. That was
we
funny.
can get into that in a minute too. And now it's a big issue. The Knicks have been the topic of conversation all summer, not all summer, all year since the All-Star break because of the trade of Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
So now they're making this cap room for all these big, for potentially two big players to come in. And then if you are lucky enough to get the number one draft pick, you got Zion. Dude, there's no way Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who claim allegedly that they want to go to New York, are going to play under a garbage system. Melo tried doing it before under James Dolan. It didn't work out. If you're going to get two all-star, I can't talk this week, guys. Sorry, I've been out.
It's early.
I've been out of it for a
early.
week.
It's all right.
If you are trying to get two superstar players to come to your organization, you're not going to let garbage ownership run that facility. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
James Dolan, his franchise has been a train wreck since it's been. And the New York Knicks are supposed to be, a good NBA
New York
franchise.
is supposed to be the mecca of all basketball.
So it starts with him. And he even brought in Phil Jackson as a GM, which was also a train wreck. And, it's just kind of sad because people want to see, at least NBA fans, at least me in particular, I want to see the Knicks do well.
I would love to see the Knicks do great.
And they haven't really done anything since they had Jeremy Lin and Carmelo and Landry Fields and J.R. Smith and those guys.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was
so
some
long
years ago, like 6-7 years ago.
I think from what other reports have brought up, I think they've only been to the playoffs 5 times in the past 20 years.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and you look back in like the 80s and 90s, they're one of the best teams in the league.
One of the most consistent teams, yep.
and it's always a talked about franchise no matter the situation, no matter how they're doing. Just because it's New York, it's the New York Knicks, and they're a storied NBA franchise. And fans deserve better. So I wouldn't mind if James Dolan sold the team. Give it to somebody who knows how to run an organization.
I would jump for joy if he sold the team.
That actually cares about Knicks basketball, because honestly, for him, he just cares about the entertainment side of MSG, and that's it.
Which, in all honesty, when Tom Gores first took over for the Pistons, that was something I thought about, because I went to a couple of games afterwards, after he had bought the team, and it was just more based on the entertainment. Like, again, I know I've talked about this a couple times. Went to a game once, and they had Flo Rida there at the halftime show.
Oh, I remember watching that at home.
People used to go strictly to Pistons games for halftime shows. It was sad.
Yeah, and I mean now you can see the culture's changing. Thank goodness.
It was a concert around a basketball game.
Yeah, pretty much. There was always some high peaking event,
Yeah.
to kind of show off the flashiness of the new owner, But again, I digress. Yeah, I don't know. I think for Zion, if he is going to be the number one overall pick in New York, really wants to get that number one pick. I know it's tank for Zion season right now. I don't think it's going to work out if James Dolan is still the owner of the Knicks.
I mean, it probably won't, just because he doesn't know what he's doing. It seems like
he hasn't known what he's done since he bought the team in '99 or '98.
You hired Phil Jackson, who had no GM experience, I don't think, and then now you're pretty much tanking, getting rid of Porzingis, and what did you get in return? Dennis Smith and a couple draft picks.
I think Dennis Smith Jr. is a nice pickup, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll definitely help.
Yeah, and I think if you really think about it, if you do get that core of players, if you are in New York and you somehow manage to land, KD, Kyrie, and get Zion in the draft, and you have Dennis Smith Jr. as your starting point guard, it's not a bad handful right there.
No, but I mean, it's not like having a 7'3" Swiss Army knife who can shoot the basketball.
Hey, better luck for Dallas. I'm sorry, Dallas won that.
For sure they did.
When Porzingis gets healthy, you're going to have Porzingis playing the 4, maybe even anywhere between the 3 and the 5. And then you have Luka, who's probably a solid 3, but runs point.
Yeah.
You got a good team there already. You already have a really good team.
Yeah, so, we're going to focus on the basketball perspective because we got March Madness around the corner. Well, it's already happening technically. You got conference tournaments going on, but the big dance starts in a week or so. Yep. NBA playoffs right around the corner. Pistons actually have a playoff spot.
There's 7. I know last time I was here with you guys, they were at 6, so apparently that's my fault. I left and they dropped.
They left and they dropped, and then they beat the Lakers, so...
Blew out
but
the Lakers.
Is that
Sorry,
really,
Brian.
Is that really saying anything?
I'm so done with the Lakers this year. I'm not even upset anymore.
But LeBron was out for load management, whatever that means.
That means
for what?
Load management. So in other words, I don't know. We talked about this too last time I was here. The Lakers and LeBron have agreed, not necessarily agreed, but they're doing a minute restriction on him. They just have to give up some excuse as to why he's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
The Pistons are in a team that LeBron feels he needs to compete against, especially in the state that the team is in now. So that's all it was. Just like, hey, if I'm taking a night off, I'll take a night off here.
Hey, man, like I said, dude, I can't always defend LeBron James. I just can't. And no, I don't always question his leadership like a lot of people, but he does have some things he needs to improve on in the leadership aspect. He's been in the league for how long? Over a decade, 15-some years, 10 to 15 years, something like that. And he's been one of the best players that we'll ever see in the NBA. And it's just like you can take a team like the Cavs, who, granted, had quote-unquote veterans, maybe not the most solid NBA veterans, but he still had guys on his team who have been in the league and have played in the league and have been in postseason situations.
True.
So you got to put that into factor. But it's just I expect better. I just do. And yes, he's got a bunch of babies on his team, a bunch of young guys who don't have the best IQ and probably don't know how to play with LeBron. But it's hard to play with LeBron because he plays his own game. And if you're not doing exactly what he wants, then kind of throws a hissy fit, it seems like.
This year, yeah. This year, that's exactly what it's been. And there have been times where it's happened in his other teams with Miami and Cleveland, especially with Cleveland, I believe, last year. But this year, it feels like it's really just getting out of hand.
There's no excuse for it. You're LeBron James. You're an icon in the NBA. You're an ambassador for the game. I expect way better. You're with the Showtime Lakers, man.
Jeremy, you going to talk about it or no?
I don't want to talk about it, honestly, just because, LeBron is...
No, talk about it.
Easier path for your Warriors.
Well, yeah, it is an easier path for us, but, God.
No, talk about the thing that's been going on, the behind-the-scenes talks.
The behind-the-scenes talk is that Jeannie Buss was trying or was allegedly didn't take this off the table, but thinking about trading LeBron.
I did see that. See, I thought he had a no-trade clause, though. Or no?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't think that's in.
Well, they can waive it, though, can't they?
No.
I know he had one in Cleveland.
If it's in contract, then if there is a clause in his contract that says he doesn't have the rights, or he doesn't have a no-trade clause. Oh, wait. Rewind. God, this morning. It's a rough morning.
Bring it back.
Right. If LeBron, in his contract, does not have anything like that says I cannot be traded unless otherwise stated, then yes, they can trade him. But if he does have that clause saying, "Hey, I'm not eligible to be traded unless I say by my rules," then they have to honor that. That at that point in time, because it's on paper and it's signed, is a legal contract.
Mm-hmm.
So if he doesn't have it, then yeah, Jeannie Buss can start shopping LeBron around if she wants.
Well, you even got guys like Jeff Van Gundy saying that the Lakers need to
that's
trade
why I
LeBron.
first heard it.
Yeah, on air.
And they might need to because he's just not a good fit for this Lakers team.
Dude, put him in the Clippers. He's still in L.A.
Yeah, just give him a
He's
team
still in the
where
Staples Center.
he doesn't have a bunch of 18-year-olds, man. I mean, my goodness.
You're going to trade him to another team in the same arena?
Dude, why not?
Yeah, I mean, heck. You even got guys saying that the Clippers are like, I saw one quote where it was like, some dude said the Clippers are like the Yankees of L.A. Oh, Stephen A.
No, that was, I think that was Charles Barkley. I know it was something along those lines.
I know it was well-known
Oh, no,
sports
it was Stephen A.
Yeah,
that's
because he compared it to his Yankees because he's a Yankees fan.
Yeah, he was saying
York.
if the Lakers don't get better during the offseason, then the Clippers are going to pretty much become the new Yankees.
Yeah, and then he said the Lakers are like the Mets. They kind of
are going
give
to
it
be
an analogy.
if they again. It's all based on the stipulation that if the Lakers don't get it fixed over the offseason.
So, question, you guys. If you're Genie right now, you're looking at next season, are you thinking of putting LeBron out there as like fillers to see like, hey, you guys want him?
As Jeff Van Gundy said, you need to take every single possible option. I get it. He just signed a 4-year deal. If he does, as long as he does not have the no trade clause, then everything is up. Everything should be up for grabs. Restructure the whole team. Because, again, you have all these guys who signed on 1-year deals. So you're losing the money off of that. You're going to get rid of, Rajon Rondo. Not necessarily get rid of. Rajon Rondo's off the books.
Mm-hmm.
Stevenson's off the books. JaVale McGee's off the books. Tyson Chandler's off the books. And Mike Beasley. That's 5 guys right there. Then you have the other 4 young players. Ingram, Ball, Hart. Okay, so 3. I was off by 1. Sorry, guys. I need coffee.
No, that's not good.
I need coffee. This is the roughest that I've had for a show.
You're good, but yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, and those are all rookie contracts.
Yeah.
At the end of this season, or at least midway through, they're going to have to sign these guys to longer deals if they want to keep them. You're not going to want to keep all these guys. I mean, you might want to, but are you going to have the funds to do it?
Yeah, that's the issue right there.
Are you going to have the money to keep all these younger guys on your team?
Yeah.
You got to shop around. And it was totally LeBron's choice to go to L.A.
Absolutely.
He wanted to go to L.A. Nobody forced him to. It's just not the right fit. And I blame LeBron because he's not showing leadership.
No,
But I'm
this
going to
is-
say, am I going to come to the conclusion and say that he's not a good leader? No, just because of his resume.
So for me, this is something we kind of talked about when Ben was on the show. LeBron missing the playoffs, I don't think truly makes or break his legacy this year. I don't.
But people are
No.
going to give him crap for it.
They
regardless.
no, they
always
will.
are.
They
They
They're
will.
going to
always
look
are.
back on it 20 years ahead and be like, LeBron missed the playoffs with the Lakers, man. Oh,
That's fine. Because like I
I'm
said,
fine with it.
Like I said
Yeah.
at that point in time too, this first year everybody knew was going to be rough. I wasn't expecting them to make it in the playoffs. In all honesty, I was expecting them to be an 8th seed at the best.
yeah, I thought they'd sneak in at least.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least.
But LeBron doesn't have the willpower this year.
What will tarnish his legacy at the end of this season is the way how he handled everything.
Can't disagree.
The outbursts, the hissy fits, calling guys out, wanting to get another player to join your team so bad you're willing to pretty much take ownership and ship everybody on your team out and play 2-on-2 basketball. Come on now.
Well, it's one
Yeah.
thing to call guys out, but at least, do your part in being a guy like LeBron James, who is, again, supposed to be an ambassador for the league, and he is an ambassador for the league. So that's why I expect better, and that's why the majority of NBA fans expect
Absolutely.
better.
Absolutely.
And you guys know I'm the biggest LeBron fan, but I'm not going to defend him when it's not right. And his actions this year have been indefensible.
Respect. No, and that's respect. That's true understanding of the game. Like, because I can be a LeBron fan. I really can be. But again, me morally as a human being, I don't like seeing the things that I've seen come out of LeBron, and that's what has made my fandom of LeBron drop this
a
year.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just like when he did the decision. I've told you guys before. The decision has really been the thing that when I look at LeBron's legacy puts the biggest kink in his armor.
That's where it all started.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot going on. The NBA has a lot to look forward to. There's definitely going to be some restructuring. I know that for sure.
If they can't bring anyone to LA during this offseason, then yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta do
look
something,
at
man.
you got to look at shipping LeBron out.
You
And-
can't have
honestly.
that same squad in LA. You just can't.
So-
And it just makes it even more kind of mortifying. Just the fact that you're playing with a bunch of 18 and 20-year-olds. Like, these kids look up to you, man. And you can't even join the team huddle?
Could you imagine
Come
if,
on,
if
dude.
Michael Jordan did that to guys?
Oh god.
Actually, better yet, let me put this in a different aspect. Not Michael Jordan. Everybody likes to compare Michael
No,
Jordan.
and the comparison can be made now.
But let me put it in a different aspect, too. It's the same team, but just a different time. Do you guys remember when Kobe Bryant had nothing but younger guys on his team, too?
Yeah.
And Kobe Bryant, granted he was taking games over by himself and winning, but do you remember the type of backlash that Kobe got? Kobe's a ball hog. Kobe's selfish. Kobe can only do it with himself. He don't care about nobody else. Look at how long that went on. And look what happened when Kobe finally got a team around him and started trusting other guys. For the longest time when I started watching basketball, I hated Kobe because he was selfish. I truly did. Once Kobe started becoming a more, started having trust in his guys, he started to become a better player. He started to truly, and not saying Kobe didn't know about the game. We all know Kobe's a mastermind with basketball. But I think the game for him got a lot easier once he decided to truly trust his teammates and share the ball.
Yeah.
LeBron right now is kind of in that selfish Kobe era, or in that Kobe phase of his Laker career right now. You've got to at least trust the guys that you're playing with. I get it. They're young. But you got to remember, when they got here, the organization was on the downhill end. These
Yeah.
guys don't know what it's like to win.
Right.
You have to be able to show them. For somebody who's won a couple of championships, or somebody who's come back from a 3-1 deficit, be patient with these guys. Show them how to win. That's
Yeah.
the biggest mark that was missed this year with LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It's just immature.
Completely agree with you, E. Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head. I expect better from a guy like LeBron, who's been to 8 straight finals. And you're playing with a bunch of young guys. Exactly. Again, hit the nail on the head, Eric. I mean, show these guys the game. You're playing with a bunch of young dudes like Kuzma, Lonzo, Josh Hart, all these guys.
That was the other guy I missed.
Yeah.
I knew there was 4.
And
Yeah,
they don't
teach
know
these
what
young
winning's
guys.
like. And the Lakers have been not that good of a team ever since Kobe left. And it's just like the same thing with LeBron there. And I put a lot of the blame on LeBron
Hands down.
because he's carried teams like the Cavs to finals by himself pretty much. It's like you can't even make a playoff appearance with L.A. It's just the expectations are a lot higher.
Yeah, come on, LeBron. You got to teach these young guys, build them up, because the way you're acting right now just seems like you don't care about them. You're willing to ship them off for the drop of a dime just because they missed a layup or anything like that. You won't even get in the team huddle with anyone. Like, come on. You're supposed to be the bigger person here. You're supposed to be the leader of this team.
Exactly.
Step
exactly.
up. That's all you got to do. Just step up.
Yeah, and it's less exciting in the postseason when LeBron's not playing. It's just the anticipation factor of, is LeBron going to make it to the finals again? Is he going to win a ring? Because that's what people talk about, whether you're a LeBron fan or not.
I think it's going to be it's bittersweet. I think it'll be bittersweet this year because, yes, we want to see LeBron. We want to see him go after that chase. But like I said last time, too, I was here. This gives the opportunity for other guys to really step up and shine now and showcase their talents. Everyone's always mesmerized by LeBron. That's not taking anything away. Just again, everyone's always mesmerized by LeBron. Golden State's going to the finals. If not, they got a good competition with the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Now you have the ability in the West to see what these other teams can truly do. Because if anybody were to, especially in the East, you knew if you faced LeBron, it was a tough competition. It was a tough matchup. The West is already tough enough as it is. The East has gotten more more appealing now that LeBron has left, and it looks like you have equal competition now. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting this playoff this year to see exactly who comes out on top.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up, and the conferences are a little more even keel. There's more talent in the East now. Still have a bunch of talent in the West. But you don't have LeBron in the playoffs, and that's going to hurt ratings.
I don't think so. 'Cause
No.
You still have Golden State. Now, if you didn't have any of those two, like if LeBron and Golden State didn't make the playoffs, then I think that hurts ratings.
Ratings go down a little bit, but I mean, you still got Giannis too, so I think people are still happy with that.
The East, I think, in my opinion, is going to be the most watched conference to watch.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think right now with 3-4 teams, it's anyone's conference right now.
You don't think it might not be a significant drop, but guys are, at least basketball fans, are used to seeing LeBron in the postseason every year. This year, it's not going to happen. So, it's going to make it less interesting, I think. Or, it may be more even keel just because, you don't have LeBron in the playoffs and, he's not going to a finals every year. But then again, he's on a team like the Lakers who have a tougher road than the Western Conference.
Hey, anything's possible.
So,
Let's
Yeah.
talk some football here real quick, guys.
All right.
So obviously free agency the open market has hit. There's a lot of big news that came out of NFL free agency. Le'Veon Bell finally got his deal. He signs a 4-year deal to the New York Jets. I think it's like, what, $53 million?
52 and 35 guaranteed.
Yeah, I was going to say something along those
Yeah.
lines. The Lions signed big and are pretty much now becoming the baby Patriots. They bring a bunch of defensive linemen over from the Patriots. And the big splash of the whole market thus far. Odell Beckham Jr. is traded to the Cleveland Browns. The New York Giants get in return a couple of draft picks and Jabril Peppers, former Michigan football player. Guys, let's talk about it. What do we think about NFL free agency right now?
I think it's been awesome.
This past week's been crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Baker-Odell connection.
I got a
And
Baker hoodie on the way, too.
For all the Cleveland fans and maybe NFL fans, I think it's mostly Cleveland fans, but maybe some NFL fans mixed in there, who are saying Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. Just enough.
I'm not going that far.
Enough.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
They might make the playoffs, but Super Bowl, not going to give it some time for that. Because you still got a young QB in Baker Mayfield who's shown he can compete at the NFL level.
But a very solid young QB.
Yeah.
Very solid.
No question about it. Is he Super Bowl caliber? I'm not going to go that far yet. He's got some some
Growing
work
up
to
to
do. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Not that he's in a bad position now, but he just keeps on getting better. But now you got Odell to throw to. So
listen, this is
going to help.
This is going to be interesting too, because also do not forget the Cleveland Browns also have wide receiver Jarvis Landry. Jarvis and Odell did play college ball together at LSU.
LSU boys. Back together.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be real fun.
And not even to mention, though, you still got Nick Chubb in the backfield and a Kareem Hunt who still has an 8-game suspension. But still, you got 2 running backs right there. Top-notch.
Tyreek Hill of Kansas City is under investigation for a battery case right now. God, I just wish these younger guys. Why do I feel like this mostly comes out of football more than anything else?
Because I think it kind of does. Like, every single year we're hearing something about a domestic abuse or assault case going on with these teams.
NFL.
Yeah, probably just because, I don't know, NFL is more of a contact sport, so it's just in their nature, I guess.
I don't know. I don't want to make any excuses for it, but it's
no excuses.
In my opinion, it's not a good look at all.
No.
The NFL really needs to start holding themselves, especially the players that they bring in, on a higher level. Hold themselves to a higher standard.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, I think so.
What else? Oh, yeah, that's right. Nick Foles signs with the Jaguars for 4 years as well.
Then they dropped Blake Bortles.
Yeah,
right
Blake Bortles
afterwards.
got released, and he just got traded to the Titans. Or, no, who got traded?
Ryan
Tannehill. I'm sorry.
Ryan Tannehill,
That's it. NFL football season's looking pretty interesting, guys.
Yep, and you got the Lions who made some transactions as well.
Yep. Signed the what? 4 former Patriots.
Yeah,
players?
it's the Matt Patricia thing. He's former New England coach. Comes to Detroit, bringing out the New England guys, and it might not be a bad philosophy, just given the fact that New England was in the Super Bowl every year.
We'll take all the Patriots leftovers. It's all right.
Yeah, and
I don't know. I don't want the leftovers. I don't want the leftovers.
Not all of them.
You don't want the leftovers?
I want the. Listen, if the Lions were lucky to get the Jimmy G trade when that happened, that's the type of Patriot leftover I want. Something young, fresh. Still has a lot of room for growth.
A lot of
and
tread
potential.
left on the tires.
Yeah, we're looking at Danny Amendola now, who don't get me wrong, was a great player for the Patriots. Didn't do that great over in Miami.
No,
and you got to admit he did have Ryan Tannehill though.
Yeah, Tom Brady to Ryan Tannehill. That's like a drastic change.
You know what you sign up for when you sign a contract to a team like that. You know that, right?
Yeah, fun in the sun. That's what I expect. You actually expect wins? Well,
what was that, like a 1 or 2 year deal for him, Danny Amendola?
Yeah, it was a 1 year deal.
I just don't want the Lions to go overboard and getting all these Patriot guys.
I already seen the thing that the SRD threw up there, the new Lions logo that has the Patriot colors.
Yeah,
and just in the lion figure.
I mean, that looks like it looks like that's what it's becoming.
It's exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah, honestly.
But I mean, you can't go wrong with guys like Trey Flowers, and we got a solid tight end in Jesse James. But it's like in the mock draft, we're still supposed to get a tight end. I just don't get it. Go after a lineman, maybe an offensive lineman, because you need to protect Matthew Stafford, who's getting paid $27 million and doesn't have a playoff win. I feel like I'm beating it with a dead horse at this point.
We all are.
Talking about Matthew Stafford and the money he's getting and the kind of performances he's been putting up, just as a whole.
Hey, I got an idea. So since the Jaguars signed Nick Foles, Miami needs a quarterback. You think I'm kidding?
They're talking to Kaepernick right now, so I don't know if that's going to...
Please.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Send Stafford to Miami, get the draft pick, and then tank for Tua or... what's the kid's name? Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
I think the Giants are tanking for Tua, honestly.
And it's like, because I mentioned this to some people, like, hey, go get a young quarterback, because that's how the league's kind of emerging, is young quarterbacks are taking over.
And you get more money available.
Yeah. And it's just like,
Look at Cleveland.
No.
We've had Stafford for how long? Like, over a decade and no playoff wins, but yet he was the highest paid NFL player at one point. Yep. It doesn't sit right with me.
And all the high-paid players barely make the playoffs. We looked at this earlier in the year.
But yet the Lions still want to go after a tight end. It just makes no sense. Go after the pieces you need. You need offensive linemen. You need a quarterback. because we're not making the playoffs. It's about making the postseason and giving yourself a chance for a title. And the Lions are nowhere near it with Matthew Stafford. But, he's the one that holds this team together, and we don't want to rebuild and this and that. You might as well at this point because it ain't looking so good.
It's the Patriots, not the Lions anymore. Rebuild. We just need Tom Brady.
It's the Latriots or the Pions, whichever you want to call it.
Dear Detroit Tigers, or not Tigers, sorry, Lions. Tank for Tua or Trevor Lawrence. That's all I have to say.
I mean, it's only a matter of time. Like, when's it gonna kick in? When's it gonna?
If it were me, I'd have done it at the beginning of the offseason. Like, bet.
No, if it's Patricia, he's going to look at this year and be like, all right, Stafford is not the guy we need. So
it's beyond time to explore your options. And it just seems like a Lions thing, man, like for draft picks. Like, we get guys that we don't even need. Like, the one year, everybody was going nuts about Calvin Johnson, which actually turned out to be, a pretty good thing.
That was good.
Too bad Lions management pushed him out of Detroit. You had the best receiver, arguably. He's one of the best in NFL history, probably the best in Lions history. And you push him out of Detroit. And you had the Matthew Stafford. You had the Matthew Stafford. I'm talking receivers.
But still, I mean, it's the same thing that happened. All of the Lions' star players like that. Again, Barry Sanders. Now you have Calvin Johnson. They get pushed out.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't work. I'm sorry.
You had Matthew Stafford throwing at Calvin Johnson and still couldn't. I mean, we had a couple playoff appearances, but no wins in there. So it's just like the drafting, man. Like, I just don't get it.
I've never understood drafting.
Why
I think especially for teams that know they need help and still go up to the same. Like, again, Lions and Pistons. Those guys are consistently, we have a guard, but we still need another guard. Why?
So you want 4 guards now?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, I want to put in my application for, Lions GM. Just
I don't think
because,
you want that.
Oh, man, it's just.
I don't think you want that job either, honestly.
I would know better than to draft a tight end.
You would
man.
think.
We don't need a tight end. And we just picked up a tight end in free agency, but yet we're still supposed to get a tight end in the draft. And we have like the 8th overall pick.
God, I wish we had a camera to see the
Seriously.
frustration on Brian's face.
really frustrated about this.
I'm done with the Lions, man. I'm so sick of it. You're paying this guy Matthew Stafford through the roof. He's not earning his money. You don't know how to draft. It's year in and year out. We draft guys that we don't need. It's just sickening. And yet, you still got Lions fans every single year blowing a gasket for their team because, they're not winning and they're losing. Yeah, a little late to the party because this has been going on for over a decade, maybe longer, 20-some years. Ever since I can remember, Lions haven't been, anything to show for.
Not at all. Jeremy,
What's up?
we got questions this week?
I got a question for you.
My man.
Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. Asking all them questions. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. Asking all them questions. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. Asking all them questions. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Oh my God, guys! There was so much going on this week. I had a couple questions in mind that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. With the Westbrook thing that happened.
Yeah,
that
was interesting.
That was bad. And then Aunt Becky. You guys remember Full House?
No. I remember the show. Yeah, I didn't watch it much. But
you guys don't remember
I know
Aunt Becky?
No.
Oh my God.
What happened to Hot Becky?
Well, anyway, Aunt Becky has 2 daughters.
Oh, Aunt Becky.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said Hot Becky. I was like, what happened to...
I mean, she's still kind of hot right now. But anyway.
Listen, your girls listening.
I'm getting beside the point. But anyway, yeah. Aunt Becky has 2 daughters. Yeah, she paid, at least, $500,000 for them to be accepted to USC.
Oh, that's what that scandal is.
Yeah, that's what that scandal is.
Wow.
Yeah, there's that. And then Felicity Huffman also paid for, her child to have extra time to take the SATs.
So that's ridiculous.
Yo, I need rich parents.
We all need rich
Well,
parents.
it's like you're paying so much money to put your kid in a certain school. I mean, and it might not be the best fit for him. Like, I mean, you got to get the grades.
I just need rich parents. Forget this. For parents that are willing to buy me extra time, I need it for this semester. I graduate this semester, and I'm behind on homework still. Listen, if any of you guys want to pay for my spare extra time, I will be in communications with you. Hey, Roger, don't put my stuff out there like that. No one has to know that. No one has to know.
I'm saying, I've seen writers too. I get it.
So you got kids that you could have kids that have 2.0s in high school and skip class and this and that.
I'm pretty sure they had 2.0s in high school because they stated that they're just going to USC.
You just setting your kid up for failure.
This goes back to the conversation I heard on a different show, a different podcast I listened to, and they were talking about having cool parents. If you got a 2.0 and you're going to USC and paying for better SAT scores, you got yourself a cool parent.
Yeah.
You got the parent that lets you go and do stupid things you're not supposed to do when you're like 15, 16 years old. You know, it turns out, oh, my child didn't know. I didn't have one of those parents. I didn't have a quote-unquote cool parent. My parent was all up in my stuff. Oh, yeah? Where you going tonight? Where you going? What time you going to be back? You ain't back by this time? I'm going to find you.
So they are being, investigated for right now.
As well as they should be.
As well as they should be, yes. And now a mother is actually suing the both of them for $500 billion.
That's a little excessive.
It is extremely excessive.
$500 billion.
Because their child did not get in.
That's all it takes? If the mom wins, I'm suing everybody on the planet. I'm sorry.
Where's admissions in this? Like, can't somebody figure out, what's going on? Or, hey, it might be going under the table.
If that mom wins $500 billion or anything off of it, I'm suing everybody on the planet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that was my question. So now who's going to
Who am I suing? I'm suing everybody on the planet.
I'm suing everyone on the planet. It was going to be like, I know we all don't have kids here, but just would you pay a college to accept your child if you had the opportunity to, if you had the money for it?
See, now you got to make me go into my morality bag.
Yeah, see now I'm making you feel.
Now you got to make me go into my morality bag.
Like, if you had the money for it and your child didn't have the grades for it, like, you knew, like,
but it depends. See, that's a tricky thing because it depends. Why does my kid not have the grades? Does my kid not have the grades because he's, like, they were legitimately struggling in school? Because, like, my brother is a good example of that.
They were struggling in school and part of not showing up or going out doing other things.
See, I would do it. Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this. Forget it.
Okay. It's a yes.
If it was the circumstance that my child struggled, had a hard time retaining information, things like that, and really want to go to school that I think my kid would do great in, yes, I would consider doing it. If my kid was just a complete slack off in school and wanted to be doing stupid things with his friends and knew better, no, I'm not paying for you to go to school. You messed up. You did it to yourself. Good luck.
Is there a limit? Is there like a cap of how much you would give?
To the kid who needs it, I would give whatever I could.
No, to the school for accepting them.
I give whatever I could. For my kid who truly needs it.
So if you had like $2 million, you would give?
I would try. I'm stingy. Maybe $1 million.
So $1 million is your.
Yeah, see, no, I'm with you on that. That's a good point, Eric. If my kid had the smarts, yes, I would consider it. If not, there'd be no way. But just from an overall perspective, I wouldn't. Just because it's unethical and it takes away, and not to make it sound like I'm some, goody two shoes over here, but
I'm not.
Look, it takes away the prestige from the certain school. Like, you want your kid to go to USC, but yet you're letting parents pay their kids' way into a certain school when they don't deserve it and don't have the grades. Like, it takes away the prestige from the school. So you're really going to let kids who are undeserving buy their way in to a certain school just because their parents have the money? No. Teach them the right way to begin with on how to succeed in school and how to get good grades and be a good parent. And then you could earn a scholarship from a certain school. Just do it the right way. That's my thing. And no, I know that's easier said than done for a lot of people
Listen,
out
if I
there.
had to do it, everyone else is going to do it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
just it just seems like a downward spiral, and it just blow up in the school's face and the parents' face if they continue to let this kind of stuff happen. I think it's ridiculous and totally uncalled for.
I think we kind of need some expert opinion. Roger, you want to weigh in on this a little bit?
With the school bribery stuff?
Yeah. If you had the money to pay for your child to get accepted in a school,
Because
would you do it?
Roger has kids.
Yeah, like for
One.
school or
One.
one. What?
Maybe another. I don't know.
Hey.
Hey, we don't
Fingers crossed.
If you had the money, would you give it up?
Honestly.
Honestly, no, because the thing is, especially in the case of the Felicity, I forgot her last name, and I was
Is
just
it
call her
Jones?
Felicity Hoffman.
Hoffman.
Hoffman,
Who, by the
sorry.
way, I forgot that was married to William H. Macy.
No idea who that is.
Interesting.
William H. Macy, the guy from he's the dad in that one show, the Dysfunctional Family, from Chicago. It's on Showtime. Shameless.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's
yeah.
William H.
The
Macy.
dysfunctional family
Dysfunctional
on
fam-
TV.
Yeah, they're a little bit more dysfunctional than
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But no, I wouldn't. Here's the thing. Lori, the Aunt Becky from Full House, essentially bribed her way into a public school, which is really sad. It's really sad, and she put him into USC, which I heard the terminology the other day. Another spoiled child. That's what they call that school because it's all spoiled children from that Southern California area. So it's reflective that your daughters can't get into a public school. That's how that shows on not necessarily on them, but it shows how dumb you are as a parent because you realize that you have to buy influence, and it's sad because in all reality, she could probably got it on her name alone, but to buy that influence to put it on a USC degree. I mean, I understand Harvard, but USC is a prestigious school. Don't get me wrong, but how sad is that? I would not know if my son, who does a trade school program, is going to go in the Navy. That's his thing. Whatever he wants to do. If I have that kind of money, I know full well he's not going to take. I mean, if I'm a good parent, then yeah, it depends on how the parenting is. But most of the time, these kids are just like, you hear them talk, they're like, oh man, that's painful because they're just spoiled kids. They have no sense of right or wrong or morality. They're set for life. So my situation's far different from theirs. If I won the lottery and I wanted to send Matthew to school, and I had to pay admissions. No, I want him to go to my own alum. I want him to be a U of M alum. That's what I want him to be.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you go U of M Dearborn. I'll pay for a school there. I don't have to pay extra money to get him in there. That's nuts. It also looks it just looks stupid. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. Aunt Becky looks such a moron. She got fired for everything. Good.
It just it takes away the whole moral of having
Oh
to
my
get good
gosh.
grades and do well in school.
Yeah, like
it's unfair to the kids who have 4.0s and actually earn their way into those schools.
yeah, exactly.
It
Brian.
is.
And not to mention, do you think these kids are really going to do anything with their art degree or their history degree? They're just doing it to
No.
please their parent.
Yeah.
No way.
No.
It's ridiculous. I can't even believe it got to that point. Thanks for your input, Roger.
Yeah, thanks, Roger.
Jeremy,
And-
I know you talked about the Russell Wilson thing, or Russell Westbrook thing real quickly. Did you want to chime in on that real quick? Or
We got a few minutes.
we got a couple minutes.
that was so crazy. And honestly, I had a question for that as well, too. If you guys were
So explain the situation real quickly, what happened with Westbrook.
Westbrook got into a little argument with a fan and his wife when he came over to the sideline and they said something to him of the phrase, get back on your knees like how you used to be,
Right.
or what you used to do. So my thing was, if you guys had the opportunity to be close enough to a star athlete, who would you heckle?
Ooh.
I feel like it would be a fun and losing effort, but I'd probably do it to Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid. Why?
I don't like Joel Embiid. I know he heckles everybody. He trolls everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So to have the ability to give it back to him, especially because I know I'm good at playing the dozens. I know I'm great at it. I don't know. It would be fun. I'd probably lose because again, he's a superstar. He probably his troll game is pretty good. I won't take that away from him. That or maybe Tekashi 6ix9ine. But I think
Tekashi's 6'9".
the only reason why because I know he's not going to do anything, especially since he's about to snitch on everybody. So
What are you talking about? He has goons all over the place.
he's going to snitch. He's going to snitch.
Eric, you kind of took my answer. I'm not a Joel Embiid fan either.
Yes.
Oh,
But to not pick Joel Embiid, I'm gonna have to go KD because he's just one of those guys that I would just love to heckle KD because he'd feed right into it. I know he would because he's still trying to justify his move to the Warriors. You think he wouldn't feed into a fan heckling him?
I think he still has beef with Rihanna from the playoffs or the finals last year.
ooh.
Yeah, what's Rihanna doing having any kind of interaction with KD?
She was a LeBron fan.
That's right.
She's standing
backing
up
her
for
boy.
her and your man.
Oh my gosh, he just had to go there, didn't he?
Well, he Brian might have a new man soon enough with Kyrie if he does decide to come to L.A.
Yeah, that's if he does decide to. That's if LeBron's not shipped out of town by that time.
Oh goodness gracious!
But I'm going KD easily because he just seems like a guy where it's easy to get under his skin. Reporters ask him questions about, his move to the Warriors, and instead of just blowing it off, he's still trying to justify it. And, I can't really blame him totally for that just because, the reporters are asking him the question. But it's like, when you're just going to shake it off, man, and just accept the fact you joined the good team, you joined the 7-3-9 Warriors, and yes, you're putting in your certain body of work, your finals MVP. Congrats. You got your couple rings. That's awesome. Well deserved. But still bandwagon with the Warriors. And, it is what it is. I'm going KD on this one.
Jeremy, last one.
I think it's a toss-up for me, either between KD or Matthew Stafford. And only KD just because I want to see him cry. Because he's just so soft. Like, honestly. That's my only reason. Just because I want to see him cry. Because I know he will. I know he will.
Bet.
So, look, good show today, guys. We were able to fit in some good stuff there in the last few minutes. Pretty happy about it.
Apologize for my mush mouth earlier today.
No,
Goodness
it's all right.
gracious.
It's all right.
It's still early.
No worries. Yeah, we do this show early. So, again, guys, good show. We'll be back next week. Actually, I'll be in Texas next week, so the week after. Pearson's
bring me back. We can still do it. We'll do it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. You guys will be filling in next week. I won't be here, but I'll be here the week after. Pearson's Piece on sportsradiodetroit.com and KVRBroadcasting.com. Roadshow next. Peace.
This has been an SRD production.